Hey, hey, hey. How is everyone? I hope everyone is well. Thank you for joining me. It's me on my own. So Mark has gone out. I'm just looking at all the rubbish behind me. That went out of focus quite quickly. So Mark has gone out. So he's meeting some friends. He's gone out for dinner tonight, which is unusual because it's normally me that's out for dinner. But he's gone out for dinner tonight. So I'm just here on my own at home. I made some pizza toast. Hey, Talk of the Tom, how are you? Hey, Sam. Hey, Richard. I hope you are all well. Thank you for joining me. So I'm here on my own. Mark has gone out, as I said, but I got plans. I got plans for you and me. Just you and me. We got plans. So I popped into M&S and I saw these. Not only did I see these, I think these will be more for Mark because he likes the, the coffee and stuff. But I also picked up this, which looks amazing. And I picked up this, which also looks amazing. So you've got the cappuccino. It's a shame Mark's not here to try them, but I'm sure he'll try them after and he'll let you know in the next live if you like them or not. So I got these. Not only did I get those, but I also got something from Bread Ahead. So let me see what this one is. Okay. So I don't know if we tried this on the live before. I think we might have done. Oh, no, we didn't. So I specifically bought this for Mark. So I've not tried this one, but I specifically bought this one for Mark. So this is a cinnamon swirl. Look at that. I don't even know if that's just cream or if it's cream cheese or what, but it looks amazing. Oh, so Richard says, ate at my sister's chicken fajitas with pork, steak, cheese and rice. Nice. I'm not a fajita type person, but my sister used to love them. I don't know if she still does, but she used to absolutely love fajitas. There was someone else I think it was one of my friends, and she used to love fajitas as well. I don't know if she still has them, but anytime we'd go to TGI Fridays or something like that, there'd be this tray of sizzling steak or sizzling whatever, and it would be a tower of fajitas. Yummy. They look like they would be tasty with ice cream, right? So like this specifically looks like it would go with ice cream. That one specifically looks amazing. Can't wait to try it. We're not going to stop there because I've got more to show you. So look at the size of this. How giant is that carrot cake? That almost takes up the whole of the bottom of the box. Look how giant that is. I can't wait to try that. But I think we have tried carrot cake before on the live. And I remember it being good. So, yeah. And we're not going to just stop there, though, right? So if you remember in the last live, I bought Gales. I believe I bought the chocolate and almond croissant from Gales. Hey, Charlie, how are you? I hope you're well. So, chocolate croissant. This one is a pistachio pan au chocolat. I was about to say pan au a pistachio pan au chocolat. I mean, that looks amazing, and I can't wait to try it for you guys because it looks delicious. Charlie's got 168 followers. That's amazing. Good job, Charlie. You're really building up quickly. That's so good. And the other one. So if you remember on Tuesday, we tried a pan au raisin, which is the Gales pan au raisin. Well, I've got a pan au raisin prep. So this is Pret's pan au raisin, and I can't wait to try that. I do have a couple of other things, but I may not try them. Basically, I've got some focaccia. So what it was, on Thursday, Thursday, no, because today's Friday. So yesterday, I was good cake. Yeah, I can't wait to try it for you guys. They look really good. Can't wait. I'm actually eating pizza toast. If you watched my Kel chat, I was trying to film a Kel chat today, so I've started one. And I was going to do the pizza toast, but you've seen me do pizza toast. This one I made slightly different. But I'll show you the remnants. So it doesn't look great because I've eaten most of it, but that's my pizza toast right there. I'm just finishing off the remnants of that. I wanted to eat something before I'm having all of this sweet stuff on an almost pretty much empty stomach. Anyway, so I went to Borough Market. I didn't film it. I was only there for like quickly passing through. And then I stopped at Bread Ahead and I just thought, oh, because I was planning to go to Humble Crumble. And there was a queue. To be fair, it wasn't as mad a queue as it normally is because the queue for Humble Crumble is so big. Sometimes it just stretches right round, and I'm just thinking I haven't got time to wait in this queue. So there wasn't that many people there, and I was going to go, but I was trying to find Bread Ahead, and then I passed the bread stall. So let me just show you the. So basically, I got, if it doesn't tip upside down, 3 focaccias. So let me just show you quickly. I don't know if I'm going to try them on the live, but I'll show you nonetheless. So that is the rosemary. I mean, come on, right? That looks amazing. I can't wait to try it. I didn't bring any butter to the table, so it wasn't in my mind to try that. But not only that, I also, there's 2 slices in there, by the way. Because you know what Mark's like. Otherwise, I won't get any if I don't buy 2. And to be fair, even if I bought 2, I still probably won't get any. I'll get a corner or something probably. And then I bought this one. You can see it's quite oily because that's how they make focaccia. It's very oily bread. How amazing is that? This is the olive one. I think Mark's going to absolutely love that. So yeah, so we've got that to try. I don't know if I'm going to try it online. Thank you for the likes, people. Thank you. It's just, you know, when you like it, it just helps others to find it, and we can just grow our community and grow our audience. And apparently I never knew this. I always say this every time I start, when I say thank you about the lives, but I was watching another YouTuber and she was saying when you like the videos or the lives, it pushes it out. YouTube then pushes it out to other people. And it'd be really nice to grow our community, don't you think? It'd be nice to sort of like all get chatting between us, people from all over the world chatting. Oh, I love that. You know, like you get some random people that are coming in, you know, like we have Sparks from Singapore, and then sometimes we have people from, there's one lady in Arizona who messaged me and she just said, oh, I just want to let you know that you've got a fan in Arizona and she watches, or a sub should I say, and she watches it, while she's at work, or she listens to it while she's at work. And it's just so nice when you hear that people are like tuning into us and, you know, listening to us while they work, or maybe have it on in the background while they're doing other things, or actually come and join. Hey, Sarah, how are you? And, you know, it's nice that, you know, we can all come together. Devon here. Wow, 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 wow. Not too far. West Country, right? Which is the part of the world that Mark comes from, is the West Country. And it's just so nice when people are coming from all over. We don't live near each other. Some of the viewers might, or some of the viewers might live near us, or something like that. And it's just so nice that we can all get together in one forum and just talk to each other. And we're just all over the country or all over the world. And it just blows my mind that somebody could be watching us in Australia, stayed up till a mad time to catch or to comment or whatever. Or, you know, someone's in Singapore and it's mad hours of the morning there, or someone from India, so, you know, someone from the States. And when they're in the States, they're all, not everywhere is different time zones, but a lot of them are a different time zone, so they're not even at the same time. And it's just so nice. I don't know, I just like it, and I like talking to you guys, and I like that everybody gets to talk to each other. I don't know, that's what I like anyway. So the pizza bread is like puff bread. Do you know what? So basically, M&S and Tesco, they do similar. There's two breads that I like to buy, and they're very similar. It's the farmhouse oat batch bread, and then they have like a white sourdough bread. This is on the oat batch bread, not the white sourdough. And they're both similar, so you can have I like to get Tesco's Finest or M&S one. Either or is fine. And that's the two breads from both of them, so they both do the two breads. It's not one bread from one place and another bread from they both do the two breads. I don't know the price difference, because when we need bread, I just get the bread because we need the bread. I had some in the freezer, because I went to the fridge and I thought, I bet Mark's eating all the bread, isn't he? Because that happens quite often when I want to go to the fridge or the cupboard. Mark's eating it, especially if I open something. So like, so I've opened these crisps, and guaranteed Mark will finish it. You know how it can be, and he'll go no, but he does. So he tends to finish anything that I've opened, or like I like to wrap, like you see, I've opened it. I like to wrap it up, and then I like to save it. I don't have to eat it all in one go. So I like to just say, like, I bought a punnet of cherries the other night, and Mark goes, oh, yes, I'll have those. And he sat down and proceeded to eat the whole lot. I didn't get one, not even one. And I was just like, So I bought another 2 punnets. They're in the fridge. I need to wash them and everything else. He just ate them straight out the box. But I like to wash them and all of that type of stuff. So I bought 2. I put them in the fridge. I haven't washed them yet, but I need to wash them. And so, yeah, so I bought these little things, and I just thought, you know what? I'll come on. I'll chat with you guys. We'll, like, hopefully you've grabbed a drink or grabbed something to eat. You're going to drink and eat with me, which would be quite nice. And if you haven't, just join me. Just have a look and see what I'm trying today, or see what I'm eating today. So, yeah, so he's gone off. He's doing his thing. So now it's you and me, yeah? You and me. Although I have to wear my glasses, so you're going to get that reflection off my glasses. Philster, if I open a packet of something, that packet's getting finished. Mark is the same. He is the same. Welcome, Philster. Thank you for joining me. I'm telling you, it's a real. So not early on, but Mark had a huge appetite. I mean, huge. It was massive. And I don't mind that. Do you know what I mean? You eat as much as you want. It's not a problem for me. What becomes a problem for me is if I've got something in the fridge and I'm about to go and eat it. I don't know, a yogurt, some cheese, I don't know, anything. You get there, it's not there. Not only is it not there, it hasn't even been written down on the list. It hasn't even been written down on the list, so that when I do the shop, I know what's gone. And I'm just like, even now, he still doesn't. Right, his appetite is reduced. So I've managed to reduce the appetite. Still eats a lot. I'm okay with that. I don't mind people eating a lot. As you eat as much as you want, but please, for the love of all that is good and holy, please leave me some in the fridge, or write it down so at least I can put it in the next order. Please, please. You wouldn't believe the amount of arguments we have over this. Amanda, happy Fri-yay. Thank you. And thank you for joining me. I seal my snack bags with hair scrunchie and clothes pegs. Do you know what? I've actually got bullfrog clips, and I bought a load. They're all dissipating. I don't know where they are, but I normally buy bullfrog clips, and I clip them on, and then so like the way that I wrap my, so I wrap it like this, and then normally I put my bullfrog clip on it. Particular, but I am particular. I am finicky. I am all of those things, and I don't mind. I don't mind that I'm particular and all of that type of stuff. But even sometimes, like even if it's not a fun size chocolate, right? If it's a normal bar, sometimes I'll eat half of it and then wrap it up, like, and then and anytime I do that, I always think of Joey. He goes, what? Now I'm the guy who can't finish a full candy bar and has to wrap it up and put it away. No. But I am that person. I am the person who can't finish or eat everything, or can't eat all of a meal, or who gets the doggy bag and brings it home and all of that type of stuff. I am that person. Despite my size, I love food. Clearly, it doesn't love me, but we work through. We don't think about it. We work through, and we just enjoy. Enjoy. That's what we like to do. So, that being said, people listening are Jose, my brother-in-law. Well, hello, Jose or Jose. Just want to check so I don't make a mistake. Brother-in-law, Michelle, my sister, and Paul, my cousin. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. Mark's not here. It's just me. So I hope you can deal with me tonight. Just me. So now that we've spoken, we've gotten to know each other a little bit. Anyone who doesn't normally come in and join in on the chat and stuff, welcome and thank you. And please ask me any questions, once within reason, obviously, and I will try to answer all your questions. Okay, so all right. Which one? I'm going to start with what I think is going to be the worst one first, right? So I think the cappuccino mini wafer. So I think this would be Mark's favorite. Mark and I are the total opposites. So he's got more of a bitter palate. So he likes anything coffee, pretty much. Anything coffee. Coffee cake, anything that's got a strong coffee taste, coffee ice cream. He gets very disappointed if we go somewhere and there's no coffee ice cream. Very disappointed. And all that type of stuff. So I think this will be more up his street than mine. I did buy it specifically for him. But we're going to try it, right? Because he's not here. He's too busy out living life. So we're going to live life right here. Let's see. You know, when you're trying to open a packet. And I'm one of these people, I don't like opening things upside down. Like, you know, when you see people and they've opened up the packet upside down, I'm a little bit OCD like that. I'm like, what? Like, why have you opened the packet upside down? All right, here we go. So these are tiny. They're like baby wafers. They're like I can't zoom in, so you can't get the pattern because the light. If you can see that there's a pattern right there. So these are just like the Pink Panther wafers. I don't know if you remember the Pink Panther wafers, but that's pretty much what they look like. I suppose you would have these like if you were having a cup of tea or coffee, you'd put a couple on the side. And yeah, that's what I think they're like, more like cafe biscuits, I guess. Yeah, with a anyway, it doesn't say it just says with a creamy coffee flavored filling. But that's what I would do. I would normally put it by the side. If I was giving someone a coffee or something, I would normally do that. That's nice. It's creamy. It's sweet. It's not as bitter as I thought it would be. I don't drink cappuccinos, but I imagine cappuccinos to be quite creamy, right? It's not too heavily flavored. It's not too coffee, heavily coffee flavored. It's quite nice. I like it. I'm going to say this because I'm going to take a sip of water. I would recommend these. They're not too bitter. They're not too sweet. They're more creamy, if anything, rather than being sweet or bitter. That it's just really, really nice and creamy. I like it. I like it. Good M&S, yeah. Next one. I think these are going to be the best ones, so I'm going to leave them to last. Now, these are chocolate mini wafers. I'm interested to see if they just taste as similar as the other one. I'm interested to find out. So, sorry, I'm a bit particular about how I open the bags. I don't like it when they split, and I split that one a little bit. Right. So instantly, you can tell it's darker. Can you see the little layers there? So instantly, that's darker. Do you know what kind of restaurant Mark has gone to? He's gone to, it's not a Mediterranean restaurant he went to, because I had to look at the food and the food looked really nice. I want to say, I mean, they did all different things on the menu. It looked like they did a roast, but also, and I don't know if Mark's going to like this, some of them are like, you know, the small portion sizes. And I know that sort of thing drives Mark crazy. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, are you sure you're going to like this place? But hey ho, let's see. Let's see what the results are when he comes back. Because he's not one to go to these restaurants that are small portion sizes. Normally, when we go out, I have to try and find a buffet, an all you can eat, you know, something like that. Something that, or like a pizza place, something that's going to fill him up, because he gets super annoyed when he goes somewhere and it's not value for money. So let's see when he comes back. So let me try this. It doesn't taste the same. But would you believe if I told you this tastes more like coffee than that one does? This tastes more of coffee. This one's got a darker, bitter taste than this one. I'm trying to get the reflection off. So that's weird. I'm assuming this is made with dark chocolate, perhaps, which is what gives it its bitter taste. But yeah, I like it. But if I'm being totally honest, I prefer this one to this one. This one's got a little bit more of a bitter taste than this one. I think Mark would go for this one for the darker taste. The other one just tastes very creamy. I like it. Interesting. What did you have for dinner? Pizza toast. And I didn't. So basically, normally when I have when I make a pizza toast, I will toast it, put garlic butter on it, and then I would put something like a tomato puree or a barbecue sauce. I prefer barbecue sauce these days. I won't lie to you. And then I put mozzarella cheese, and then I put like some basil seasoning, some oregano seasoning, some chili, some pepper. Ooh. And then I melt that, and then melt my cheese, right? And then I put my what do you call it? My pepperoni. This is Spanish pepperoni. Sorry, this is Spanish chorizo. What am I talking about? So I had some Spanish chorizo, and then I just popped that back in the oven, let it sort of like crisp up a bit, and then normally that is how I would do it. But I forgot to put the barbecue sauce, so I just drizzled the barbecue sauce on top. Same difference. It would just have looked nicer had I put it on underneath instead of on top. But that's the only difference. And that's what I've had for dinner. Right? Cheese. Okay. Let me wipe my hands a little bit. Next up, the pièce résistance, the one that I'm looking forward to. The one that seems the most difficult to open. Yeah, this one's a bit more rigid. I suppose this one seems a bit more sealed, and the top of it is very different to the other two. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Maybe the other two can take a little bit of air, but this can't take any air. Wow, these are tiny, tiny. Look at those. They're like chocolate straws. But this is what I would, you know, as Sam was saying, you know, you'd probably have them. Is it you that said that, Sam, that you'd probably have them with ice cream? This is the sort of thing, I think. Let's try it. That is the lightest, crispiest chocolate straw I think I've ever had. I don't know what they call them. Hazelnut wafer minis. Wafer mini rolls. They are so light. These are the lightest things ever. It's like, I'm filled with like chocolate. These are like the best things ever. I was right to save them till the end. Wow, 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 wow. These are really good. These are really, really good. Made in Italy, Richard. Made in Italy. They're all made in Italy. Really, really good. My recommendation, and I will do it in order. This would be number 1. These are amazing. Go and get them now. I am not sponsored by M&S. My review is real. All our reviews are real. We don't get sponsored by anybody. But this is amazing. Go and get it. Honestly, these are really good too. So these will be my number 2. These are really creamy. I really like them. They're you know, they're light as well. But they taste like as a wafer does. So this is my highest recommendation. This is my second. This one is my third. This one's my third. I like these ones. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that if I'm judging them all, and I think with this one, it's a little bit darker. So if your tastes are a little bit darker, you like that little bit more of a bitter taste. They're not bitter, by the way. They're just a little bit more bitter than the other two. This is the one for you. They're all 3 of them good. Would I buy these again? No, but if somebody gave them to me, I would eat them. If I have a choice of what I would buy again, this one all day long. And if I was buying them for someone, I'd buy all 3, to be fair. I'd buy all 3 and I'd give them to someone as, you know, here, have these. These are amazing. Tell me which one you like. But this one it's so light. It's so crisp. And the chocolate comes, they're really good. I can imagine going through a phase of just eating these. I went through a phase of eating the Nutella biscuits, the one that Tanika mentioned and recommended. Oh my word, I ate so many of those, so many. But I can imagine something like this, and I would go. And these, I don't know if they're limited edition, but I know they're new, and they were advertised. They also do another one with reduced sugar. So if you want one that's got reduced sugar, they do one. I just didn't get it. Yeah, I highly recommend them. I recommend all 3. I'll be honest with you. I recommend all 3. It just goes according to your taste buds. Yes, I am going to have another one because it's amazing. They would be nice added to hot chocolate toppings. Yes, like on top of whipped cream. You are right. Didn't even think of that. But yeah, you can just imagine them. Or even if I squashed them up a little bit and then just sort of sprinkled them. But a lot of the time, people would just pop them on top in the cream. Amazing. They would be. They're so light. The crisp on, you know. Let's keep them over there. Now I've started eating the sweet things. I can't go back to my pizza toast, but the pizza toast was delicious and is delicious. I want to go back for it. But now I started on the sweet stuff. Maybe later on in the live. Maybe later on. So guys, what do you think I should try next? So we've got the Cinnabon with that lovely whipped cream on top. I don't know if it's cream cheese or whipped cream. I don't know. We got that lovely, beautiful carrot cake. You've seen me try it before, but if you want to see me try the next one again, let me know. It's right there. We've also got the heavenly pistachio and chocolate pain au chocolat. The pistachio pain au chocolat, which looks really good. And also the pain au raisin, which equally, I mean, I have spoilt myself, and why not? Mark's not here. Don't worry, there'll be stuff for him. Like if it was him doing it, there'd be that much left for me, right? If I was lucky, there'd be that much. But don't worry, I will leave a lot for him. There will be sizable pieces for him to come and enjoy. He finished all this. So on Tuesday, if you watched our Tuesday live, I bought all those sweets, yeah, all those cakes and stuff like that. He ate all of them. All of them. I just said, oh no, I don't want it anymore. He ate all of them. I'm like, seriously? So don't worry, there will be plenty left for him to enjoy when he gets home. So, what has everyone got planned for this weekend? What are you all up to? Let me know which one of these next dessert things you'd like me to try. Or you may not want me to try any, which is fine. Because I can just leave them there. I don't have to eat everything. It's fine. We don't have any, well, we don't have any plans, but I do have some ideas for a couple of videos. So I won't reveal what we are thinking, but really I've only got plans for Saturday. We'll probably chill on Sunday. And so we're probably just going to sort of, Mark's probably going to do some work. I've probably got some planning to do. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably just chill on Sunday and stuff like that. But what has everyone else got planned? Or if you're doing something this evening, or you're on your way out this evening, where are you going? If you have a favorite restaurant or a favorite cuisine, let me know, because I feel like Mark's gone out to have something to eat. I don't know where he's gone. I mean, I know that where he's gone, but I don't know what he'll choose. I don't even think he's looked at the menu. Like when I was looking at it, like where it was, because he's going, oh, can you tell me where it is? What do you mean you're the one that's going there? Your friends picked it, so why don't you know where it is? So anyway, before he left, I was planning his journey. And then I was saying, right, you need to go here, here, and here. But so the gallery popped up, and I just thought, okay, like the food looked good. It looked good to me, and I just thought, But I'm thinking it's the portion sizes for Mark is a myth. So it's going to be very interesting when he comes back and he tells me. But nonetheless, when he's out with his friends, though, even though it's a tricky one, because he'll be like, yeah, it's nice, but when he comes home, he'll tell me the truth. So I don't know. It's 50-50 whether he's going to enjoy it. I hope he does enjoy it, because I hope he has a good time and sort of like, sits down, enjoys the meal for what it is, and just understand that not everywhere is going to have big portion sizes. Not everywhere is going to be all you can eat, and not everywhere is going to be a buffet, So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'd like to hear his take on it and actually what he ate. I went out last night with a friend of mine, and we haven't seen each other. Like, we try to catch up every few months. It doesn't always work. And sometimes like long periods of time lapses in between. But I went out with her last night, and it was really nice. But the place that I chose was like really loud music. And it's a bit hit and miss with my friend, because like sometimes she'll like the music, but if it's too loud and you're trying to talk, sometimes you've got to raise your voice in order to hear each other. And so sometimes I think for her it can be a little bit frustrating. But I really did enjoy the food. And she got a mushroom risotto, and she really enjoyed that. But it came with vegan. She's my friend's vegetarian, and it came with vegan cheese. And she said, oh, she didn't like the smell of it at all. It wasn't nice. But she goes, even though it doesn't smell nice, it really does taste nice. And she finished the whole thing. And then she wanted sweet potato fries, but when they brought her over the fries, it was like stone cold. She's like, how's your chips? I got a club sandwich, by the way. I could have gotten I don't know, but I was feeling club sandwich. I've been there before, and I think did I have green curry, or might have had something else the last time when I was there, but whatever it was, I really enjoyed it. And I went with a bunch of people, and not like everyone's dish looked on point. There wasn't one dish of everybody's that I wouldn't have had at that restaurant. And I always think it's a good sign. You love risotto, so do I. And I really do like mushroom risotto. I really like mushroom risotto. I think it's delicious. And I think that's the sign of a good restaurant, when you go and you know that there are several dishes that you could choose and they all look good. So I feel like, so where we went, it was really quite nice. So I would go again, but I think I'd probably go at an earlier time, because when I went the last time, I think I went at a lunchtime. My hair's getting in my ears and it's itching it a little bit. So I went one lunchtime and it was really nice. Everybody got something. I was just like, oh my God, that looks. I was. Do you know what? I was worried I was gonna suffer with food envy, because sometimes like food envy is real. You look at people and you're like, oh, I wish I'd gotten that. Oh, I wish I'd gotten that. Oh my God, I wish I'd gotten that. Do you know what I mean? And that's how the evening carries on, and you're just like, wish I'd gotten that. In fact, I think I got a minute steak. I think a minute steak with chips. That's what I got. And like I said to you guys, I don't normally order steak. When it's a minute steak or a very thin one, I don't mind so much. I will order it if it's there. But anything like a sirloin, a ribeye, a fillet, I don't order it. I don't order it because I'm always worried I'm going to be disappointed. And because I cook steak, I used to cook it quite often. Now maybe once or twice a month I might cook a steak. I was considering doing one before I came onto the live, and then time was getting on. I was like, and I had done one. When did I do one? Did I do one earlier in the week, or did I do it? I did it earlier. I might have done it. I might have done one last Sunday. I think I did one last Sunday, and then I couldn't eat it all, so I wrapped it. So I made my dinner. I couldn't eat it all. I wrapped it up, and then I just put it to the side, because I just thought, oh, I'll have it tomorrow, which I did. But yeah, so I had a minute steak. Somebody had the Thai curry, and somebody else had, I don't know, it was like a poached salmon of some sort, and then and it just all looked so good, and I was just like, that looks good. That looks good. It all looked good. So there wasn't a dish there that I don't think I would have eaten that somebody else had chosen. And so when we went there, the menu was slightly different. And I had to see, when I was looking at the menu, I don't know why, because I can make a club sandwich at home. So I don't know why, but sometimes when I go out, I really fancy a club sandwich. So I went for the club sandwich. And part of me thinks, I should have gone for something else a bit more, because there were other things. I think they had like an aubergine something or other, and that really looked nice to me. And then they had a couple of other dishes that were just like sort of screaming at me a little bit, and I just thought, oh, maybe I should have gone for one of those. But there's plenty of time. It's not like I can't go there again, right, and try another dish. But I liked the ambience. I liked the vibe. Her sweet potato fries were stone cold, so they offered to get her halloumi fries instead, because they had run out of. Do I like crab? I do like crab. I do. But I don't like it if it's not already done, if that makes sense. So if I have to work for food, like crack this and crack that, I've already lost interest. I want to eat my food. I don't want to have to crack over here and crack. Like Mark will work for it. He will open up an oyster and put all the lemon and the this and the that, or he will crack the claws of a crab or a claws of a what you call it, lobster or something. Like, I don't have the time. Like, he'll peel prawns. I want my prawns already cooked and peeled. I don't want to have to cook my prawns, peel my prawns, devein my prawns. I mean, I do devein them now and stuff like that, as in when I buy them. But I don't like to do all of that. I just want to like eat my food. I don't want to have to work for it. I'm very lazy like that. But yeah, Mark will just like devein them and just, I mean, not devein them, he'll just like peel them and just eat them like that. I'm just like, but yeah, he'll eat. Oh, I really love, you know what I really love? I really love monkfish, especially if it's done well. It's such a meaty, beautiful fish. So I really like monkfish. I think that's probably among one of my favorites. I do like salmon. I do like prawns. Oh goodness. I'm just trying to think of any others. I think those are the main ones, really. Mark likes squid. He really does like squid. He likes squid. He likes octopus. I mean, squid's okay. I like it. It's all right. used to shell crabs all day when I was a teenager. The company is still open and selling crab meat, etc. I have tins of jumbo lump crab in the cupboard. So when I'm doing something like a seafood pasta or a seafood risotto, something like that, that's when I break out the jumbo lump crab meat. And then I'll do, like salmon, and I'll do cod, and then, peas and sweet corn and stuff like that. And I'll do a seafood pasta, or I'll do what you call it, a risotto. Yeah, and we will just sit. And sometimes it's nice when I do fish dishes, because then we can sit down together and eat. Otherwise, Mark doesn't like me cooking meat while he's cooking whatever it is he's cooking. So even when we have breakfast, he'll do mine first, and then he'll do his. And normally, like, he doesn't like doing them at the same time. And I'm just like, I don't think they do it separately at the restaurant. I think they cook them side by side. Some places that are big will have a separate fish station. Like when you're watching the Gordon Ramsay, they'll have a separate fish station, they'll have a separate meat station, they'll have a separate vegetarian station. But not all kitchens are big. So I don't think they're doing that in a lot of restaurants. And I keep trying to explain that to him, but it's like, no, I don't want to do this. And I was like, okay, all right, cool, do your thing. And so a lot of the time, unless we get takeaway, then takeaway we eat together. Or if we're going to a restaurant, we'll eat together. Or sometimes when he's cooked breakfast, I'll just wait, and mine will be a bit cold by the time his comes, or vice versa. I'll cook his and then cook mine second, and then it'll be a bit cold. Either one of us will be cold, but sometimes we do that so we can eat together, because I feel like it's nice when you can eat together. I feel like you don't want to eat separately or a different time. Sometimes we do, because of the dietary requirements and stuff. But a lot of the time, I like to eat at the same time as Mark. It's just nice, I feel. I've never found a brand like, uh, oh, you've never found a brand that you like, but you love crab and monkfish. Crump, crab and monkfish. Yeah, I mean, I think, is it, I don't know the brand I want to say it's Kingfisher, the brand that I buy. I don't know if that's the case. And also, I didn't so I always grew up, when I grew up, and I only ever saw tin tuna. I didn't realize you could buy tuna steaks. I didn't even realize that was a thing. And then I got these tuna steaks one day, but they were the wrong tuna steaks because they were full of bones and I couldn't eat them. But then another time and they're like real meaty, tuna steaks. Mark loves them. So if I'm doing poisson vindai, which is like it's almost like a pickled, uh not the fish is a little bit pickled, but not really. It's more the onions that is pickled, and you cook you're cooking the tuna in a certain way. And then normally the traditional way that you eat it is you have some type of baguette bread, and you put it in, and then people eat in. Yeah, and so normally, yeah, if I do poisson vindai or something like that, Mark will, like, if I do anything like poisson vindai, or if I do gâteau brésil, or if I'm doing like a coconut shrimp, or anything like that, like, Mark will eat it as I'm cooking it. So I don't have a beautiful display at the end, because Mark's eaten most of it. I'll have like one or two, like, especially if I'm doing coconut prawns and I'm doing like yellow rice. I like my yellow rice. So if I'm doing something like rice and coconut shrimp and all of that type of stuff, like, I really have to do it when he's not around, because the way that man's just eating as I'm going along, and then there's nothing to show for it at the end, I'm just like, what are we going to eat now? Because, like, you've eaten it all. And so, but it's not, I like it. I like when he enjoys something. I really like cooking. And, if he enjoys the food and he's going to eat the food and all that, because sometimes he can be quite difficult to cater for sometimes. So, because sometimes he doesn't want rice, or sometimes he doesn't want pasta, or sometimes he doesn't want this. And then in the end, I became like my mum, like, I'm going to cook something and it's there. If you want to eat it. If you don't want to, and I find that method works best. So I'll cook something, and more often than not, he'll eat what I've cooked. More often than not. And then you go, oh, can I have a bit more? The cheek. Can I have a bit more? Luckily, I do cook enough for 6 people normally when I cook because I know he's going to eat. And the thing is, if I've cooked something, it's always in his mind, oh, there's some more in the pot, there's some more in the pot. But sometimes I have to squirrel some away. So sometimes I'll put some in a separate tub so that I can actually have some the next day because there is a tomorrow. And so sometimes I like some the next day or, not necessarily the very next day. It might be the day after that. But sometimes it's just nice to come home and you don't have to cook because you've done whatever. So sometimes, like I said, when I did the steak and stuff and I could just wrap it up, on my way home, I can just say to Mark, oh, can you put it in the oven for me? Or can you just like put it in the air fryer for me or whatever? And then when I get home, it's something that I can just sit down and eat and not have to worry about, oh, I need to go and cook something now. And I feel like that sometimes that's half the battle. Like if you've been out all day or whatever, and then you have to come home and then you have to think, and I don't like cooking at the best of times. Like I'm not really one for cooking. I don't really enjoy it. I don't mind the baking. I like the baking, but I'm not really one for cooking a lot. So I do find that quite difficult. My least favorite starter, I'd have to make in a hotel kitchen. I worked was roll mops. What is roll mops? And you just but ew. What is roll mops? Is that some type of fish? Like herring or something, and you've had to roll it up with cheese in it or olives or something in it. Roll mops. I'm just trying to think what they could even be. Roll mops. Interesting. So yeah, so I think that it's a tricky one sometimes when I have to cook for the both of us. Yes, pickled herring. You know what? When you said it, I just thought it sounded like something herringy. Do you know what I mean? Not hairy, but herringy. Oh dear. And I suppose the smell would get to you after a while as well if you're having to roll it or smell it. And I can't imagine. I can imagine the smell of the herring and then the smell of the vinegar and then yeah. I don't know if it would be a great combination and then you're having to roll. I don't know about that. But there was an event. Oh God, yeah, I forgot about the event. So there was an event I went to yesterday, and I had to plan an event. So I had to plan an event which happened last week, went really well. Everybody loved it, great. And I had to interview. Well, not interview, but I had to, interview, audition, whatever you want to call it. So I asked them to bring samples, and there was one caterer who came in, and I let them set the time. So I just said morning is best, let me know, I'm free this day, this day, this day. So the first person that came back to me, she wanted to book 9:30 in the morning. Listen, I'm all up for that, the earlier the better, that's fine. I like, because 9:30 you can pretty much guarantee she's the first person. Like if I was going to go for something, I'd want to be the first person, and I want to impress you, I want to do whatever it is, so I like to be the first one. So anyway, so I was just like, right, yeah, cool, can you bring in some samples? Well, as you can appreciate, it's 9:30 and we won't be able to bring samples and all of this type of stuff. Excuse me? Don't you run a catering company? Don't you have breakfast seminars? Don't you do, I don't know, breakfast meetings? Do you not do cater for breakfast or anything like that? And in my mind, I was just like, right, well, normally when you're preparing for the day, you get there early hours of the morning anyway. I imagine her to be starting at 4 a.m. If you're running a catering company, you don't open your catering company at 9 o'clock. You're getting there from early hours of the morning. You got bread to bake. You got food to prepare. You got this, and this. So why are you telling me you cannot bring food in? You can't bring samples in. So I'm like this. I'm just like, okay, yeah. Anyway, come see the space. So she came, she saw the space, loved it, all of this, giving me all the, and in my mind, the only thing that I can think of in my mind is, how can I hire you if I don't know how skilled you are? How can I hire someone, or how can I ask someone to cater an event if I don't know how your food tastes? This is a bizarre concept. I am catering an event. I need to sample your food in order to know if you're good enough to do the event. So I was just like, so in my mind, that was an instant cross. I just thought, she's not being serious. She didn't even say, we're going to come. You know what? This afternoon, I'm going to send over some samples. You can let me know what you think. Nothing like that. Nothing like that was mentioned. So I was just like, showed her around and like, let that person go. The next person that we had, I was like, can you do samples? He goes, well, we don't really do samples, but we can do a paid sample tray if you would like. So basically we had to pay for the samples. That's cool. That's cool. I want to taste your wares. Yep. So we paid the money. It was £120, and I have to be honest, it wasn't worth 120. The amount, the amount that he brought was not worth £120. I'll tell you that for free. However, he was a really nice guy. His samples were okay. They were nice. The samples were nice. It cost a bit of money. I felt I didn't think the amount that he brought was worth what we paid for the samples, but this is all part of the process. This is a process of elimination. But I really liked him, and I thought that as he was doing the canapes, he's talking to you, he's entertaining you, and I think that is very important at an event when you're doing all the work and all of this, that, and people are engaged, and then they're watching you work, and then it's almost like a show in itself. Do you know what I mean? So I quite liked him. And then I told all of them that I'm interviewing other people that for the event. I'm seeing other people for the event. Then the third caterer came, and I said, "Oh, do you do samples?" Yes, we do samples. Let me tell you something. She didn't say anything to me about payment for the samples or anything like that. She brought samples, and when I tell you she brought samples, like proper, a range of samples. We didn't have to pay for it, but the samples were good. And what my main concern was that somebody had mentioned to me that they didn't really want, like, there was an event that somebody else went to, and the people complained about the portion sizes, that there were these little things. But you have to have finger food or like canapes at an event. You can't walk around with bowls of food. You got to drink in one hand, and you're trying to, and there's nowhere to sit. It's an event. You're standing up. You have to have little things. That's the point. So so I was like, right. So like, we called a few people, and we was like, right, try this food. Let me know your thoughts and all of this. People were trying it. They were enjoying it. And in my mind, I thought, and plus I also liked the lady. I felt she was very professional in what she was doing. I thought she understood the brief. She understood the assignment. And I was just like, right, okay, yeah, we're good to go. So me and the other guy, we were having a discussion, and so the other guy was saying that he liked the second caterer, so the one that spoke to you and all of this. And I said, I do too, and I think it would be good. However, this lady is more professional, and the food size, because she was doing like little quiches and stuff like that. And I said, I think that might satiate the other person who was thinking that they went to an event and they didn't like small bits of food. There were small bits of food, granted, but there were also bigger bits of food. So if people wanted bigger bits of food, they could have the choice. And there were little samosas, and there were little spring rolls, and people love samosas and spring rolls and things like that. And then there were like mini things on crackers, and like little shot glasses with whatever it was that was, and it was just really, really nice. So we had made the decision to go. So I made the decision, and I just said, look, this. So the other person said, yeah. After we had a conversation and a couple of meetings, then we decided to go with this person. And she came in, and it was just she was just so professional. Everything flowed. It was really, really good. But I think that if you are a caterer and you are trying to win business, especially in this climate, And especially when, like, I'm very passionate about what I do and how I do it and all of that type of stuff. But there are some people out there who aren't, and they are just happy to go and get sandwiches from M&S or wherever, the little tray sandwiches that are in quarters, or get it from what you call it, prep, or any other sandwich shop, and they're happy just to get the little triangle sandwiches and a little bit of finger food. This was a catered event. If you are a caterer in this day and age, you have to fight. Don't come anywhere and then tell me when I'm asking you about samples, you're not giving me anything about samples. You're just turning up and looking at the space and then telling me this, this, and this. Because I haven't tried your food. I am not, I will tell you here and now, going to allow someone to cater an event and I haven't tried their food. That to me is very bizarre. So if you are a caterer, bear that in mind, because people will ask for. I am one of those people that will ask for a sample because I want to know what your wear is like. Do you know what I mean? What your wares are like. So yeah, I just found that to be a real eye opener. I learned a lot of things, and I was just like, and then they had the cheek afterwards when I said, "Oh, sorry, we're not going to go with you this time. We've chosen somebody else." They're the cheek to ask for feedback. Well, what feedback do you want me to give you? Because I didn't taste your stuff. So I'm not sure what kind of feedback you're expecting. Now but the thing was, if you had even if I hadn't gone with you that time, if your stuff is good, that doesn't mean to say I'm not going to keep you in mind for my next event. Does that make sense? So even if I may not use you for this event, I might use you for another event. So I just think that it's very prudent that if you are selling a product, or like a food product or whatever, that's why when you go to these shops and stuff like that, and you see people, they've cooked samples and stuff like that, or you see some restaurants that are handing out food because they're samples of what they do, this is a good marketing tool. This is a good marketing tactic, because I'm going to remember you the next time. Oh God, I remember I tried that. There was a food market that I went to, and there was like there's like, it wasn't a very big one. There's like food, so you'd go there at lunchtime. There's like four or five different stalls. The ones that people would always go to were the ones that were doing the barbecue of some sort, because that, when you smell that meat, or when you smell, man, you go and queue up. That's what Evelyn was saying. Man, you go and queue up there. But there was another set of ladies, and they would do like this really great salad, and I really loved the salad and the meat that it was so good. I would normally go to that store, but there was another store, and sometimes I would go to the other stores. Not a lot, but sometimes. They did the best falafels, I think. And you know what they do? They would just stand there and give out samples of the falafels and stuff like that. Because sometimes you can get some falafels and they could be a little bit dry. This one was so good. It was so good. And I was just eating there. And sometimes I would just get the falafels and then bring them home for Mark and stuff like that. Because some of those falafels were so good. But I just think that it's just a great marketing tactic. If you sell food, or you're in the food industry and whatever, in this day and time of cost of living crisis, we've just come through the pandemic, people can't afford a lot of stuff and all this, and you want to, and you're, well, clearly, do you know what it is? Maybe their business is not in trouble. I don't know. Because in my mind, if I want to win business, I have to, do you know what I mean? I have to, you're in competition. It's like if you open up a coffee shop, but if you're opening up a coffee shop and there's already Starbucks, there's Nero's, there's Costa, and you're a little independent coffee shop, you are competing with all those conglomerates. You are competing with the big company that is, because they can afford to take a loss at that store, because all the other stores can build that one back up or whatever. Do you know what I mean? They can work at a loss. Like a lot of these big chains, they can work at a loss because it's just to have the kudos in that town, city, or whatever. But you, as a little independent person, you have to think, what can I do to make me stand out compared to them? When they knew that I was what you call it, when they knew I was entertaining other caterers, one the second caterer, he was like, well, I hope when you try our food, I'm sure when you try our food, you won't go nowhere else. Do you know what I mean? And I like that confidence. It wasn't being cocky or anything else. It was just a simple fact of he was so confident in what he could produce and his food and stuff like that. And I like that. I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. For me, his food was only okay. It was nice, and I think other people probably would have liked it a lot more. But I was looking for something that bit more, a little bit more, perhaps, because he did this thing, which was a cracker with mashed potato and chorizo on top. Now I love chorizo, right? I really enjoy it. I'm not so sure that I enjoy it on mashed potato on a cracker. I like the others did, and I liked the sesame cracker. It was like really, it stood out, but I didn't like, I wasn't getting the mashed potato. Like mashed potato on a cracker just didn't, did not wow me at all. And then there was something else that he did again that didn't wow me, and it was a little bit of a strange combination. And I felt that sometimes having something that's unusual, which is really good, and then but you want to mix that with more traditional things as well, so people don't mind trying, like they'll try something that is not traditional but they'll always go back to the traditional. That's what I found in my experience. So anyway, I went to an event last night, me being me, sort of comparing it to what I did and all of this. And like the food was okay. It was okay. It was more traditional. And but I tell you what stood out. They did this one thing, and it was like it was too soft. It wasn't baguette bread, and it was far too soft. But it was in between, let's say, a baguette and a brioche. I guess it was sort of, so it was really soft like a brioche, but wasn't as sweet as a brioche. And they did it with lobster. It was some type of lobster which they put on top. Oh, it was really good. They did a watermelon and some type of whipped feta or something like that. Didn't taste of anything. It wasn't that flavorful. It was only okay. So I don't think, like, I don't think my standards are high, but maybe they are a little bit, in the sense, maybe maybe I'm a little bit of a snob in certain things, perhaps. Like I was talking to some other people, and the other person said, I didn't know there were so many water snobs here. Do you know what I mean? Because like people are fussy about the water that they drink and stuff like that. And so I think when you're going to an event, I don't mind. I'll just, eat whatever and stuff like that. But if I'm planning an event, it's very different. I want to set a certain tone for an event. So that's when my snob comes out, because I think, well, this is what I want the tone to be. I don't know if that is what it will be, but this is what I want the tone to be. So in my mind, I've pictured something and I'm thinking, right, yeah, this is going to look good. This is going to taste good. This is what I'm looking for. And it just so happened that the third caterer, and I thank God, had what I was looking for, because that was the tone that I wanted to set. And what was really good, because the food was going out and people were just eating all the food. And then she's like, right, she goes, is there more people coming? And I was like, yeah. She goes, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it back for 15 minutes and then I'm going to rebring it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it back for 15 minutes and then I'm going to rebring it out. So she was really knowledgeable in that, because it wouldn't have occurred to me. And then all the food would have gone to the first set of people, and then the other people who were coming wouldn't have gotten any food. Do you know what I mean? Because there was lots of drink. Don't get me wrong, there was lots of beverages, but in my mind, I was just thinking, I wonder if there's going to be enough food. And we were having this discussion, and the thing is, people always want to drink more than they want to eat. But in my mind, I'm thinking, you've just finished work. Did you even have lunch? Because a lot of people end up skipping lunch because they got to work through lunch and all of this type of stuff. So in my mind, I was just thinking, this is going to be their meal. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a bunch of finger food and stuff like that, because I couldn't do bowl food because there wasn't anywhere to sit down to do the bowl food, to eat the bowl food. So I needed to think about practicalities as well. And yeah, it was just, but everybody enjoyed it. Everybody loved absolutely every minute of it. I was really, really pleased with the whole thing. Chorizo croquettes would have been better. Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have. Chorizo croquettes. But it was just like chorizo. It was just very weird. And I feel like with the croquettes, because you would have had that breaded part of it, and the mashed potato is a lot more, I don't know, maybe more whipped, I guess, and then fried and all of this. Whereas he was actually pumping it through what you call it, an icing bag, and it just tasted of cold potato. Do you see what I'm saying? It just tasted of cold potato with chorizo on top, and I just felt that it was very strange. I just didn't get the combination. And then there was something. I mean, he did like your traditional, which was like a piece of what you call it, pate. So you know you can get like Brussels pate and coarse pate and all of this type of stuff. So it's just a little square of pate on a cracker. Now I don't know if he made that from scratch. I don't know. Or whether he's just got some pate and then cut it and then put it on, and then, do you know what I mean? What's your favorite cuisine? I love Lebanese. Do you know what? I love Thai, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, all of that side. Like I really like, yeah, I really do love that side of things. Mark, I would have thought Mark's would have been Italian, but it's not really. He just likes. I don't think he used to love Indian food. Like he used to really love it, but he's more of the type to like certain types of food, like pizza. He loves pizza, but that doesn't mean he loves pasta and all the other Italian things. He just likes pizza. He also likes fish, but he doesn't like Thai food, by the way. One time, so we were in Brighton, we were newly to sort of like together, and he decided. So I really love Thai food, so we went to a Thai place. But to be fair to Mark, I do believe that the coconut milk might not have been like in date, and my stomach is a little bit more, stronger than his, a little bit. And he had food poisoning after we'd been there. He was as sick as a dog. He really was sick. He was just like, and we ordered all of this breakfast stuff, and he couldn't eat any of it. He couldn't eat any of it. He was sick. Yeah, bless him. So yeah, he doesn't like Thai food now. He never really enjoyed it, but he really doesn't like it now. Lebanese. I've not tried Lebanese food. How is it? There is a Lebanese restaurant actually, not too far from us, and I would like to try it. Oh, poor Mark, very sweet though. Yeah, you should tell us more stories from when you were first together. I really. I'm just trying to think. They just come up sort of like. So there was one. Okay, so I'll tell you how we first met. So I was I've always been into acting and things like that, and I just felt that I'd been working, there wasn't a chance to let out my creative side and all of that type of stuff, so I decided to sign up to a course, an acting course. Now prior to that, I had met my best friend, Evelyn. She comes on here sometimes. She's away at the moment, and so I had met her, my goodness, a couple of years prior, I think, a couple of years prior to meeting Mark. So so I signed up to another class. So we went to college, met Evelyn. went to work again, and I was doing a bit of temping work, and I was just like, oh, I need to sign up to another course because like I feel like my creative side is dying slowly. So I decided to sign up for another acting course. And in the class, I was late, and I was just like, oh, sorry, I'm late. And I went and just sat down. And Mark noticed me in the first class. He'll tell you, he noticed me the first time. And he says that I came in and he just thought I had an attitude problem. But it wasn't. I was actually quite shy. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so late. But I always think it's funny how people take you, because sometimes I can be a little bit socially awkward. So I'm not very good when there's a big group of people, which is very funny because I'm a receptionist, so I'm all about working, but it's different. So I can be welcoming and make you, not make you feel important, because you are important. But what I mean to say is, when I make you feel important, I'll remember things about you. I'll remember the last conversation that we had, and I'll ask you about, because I'm genuinely interested. So if somebody says, oh, I remember there was somebody who I used to work with, and he had twin girls, and they were doing ballet. They were unidentical twins, but they both loved ballet. They were both completely different. And I would ask him, do you know, how are your girls and all of this? And so there are little things that I will remember, and like I want to know. And I remember my friend wanted to show me some pictures, and so I was looking at them and I was asking questions, and she said she was so surprised because like people just look at pictures, but they're not interested. But I am interested. If I'm your friend, or if I'm getting to know you and I like you and whatever, I want to know more about you. I want to know. I want to see your pictures. I want to know. Do you know what I mean? And I don't do very well, and I am quite shy. Not so much now, but back then I was like really shy, and so I just walked into the class and was like, hello, I'm sorry, I'm late. And Mark just thought I had an attitude problem, and it's just so weird how people take you. And so so he, we would chat every now and again and all of this, but I didn't really pay it no mind at the beginning. And then in our last class, that's when I realized he liked me. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get his number. And I never went out. I'm one of those, because I told you I'm socially awkward, so I don't go for drinks and things like that and all of that type of stuff, because I feel a little bit. And so and I think like I'll come on to that, because I was about to digress again. I went to the calf. It was my first time going to the calf, because I never came to the calf. And I just said, oh, we should get each other's numbers like this. And really, I didn't want anyone else's number. I just wanted Mark's number. So we all exchanged numbers and all of that. And then I got his number and he got my number. And that's how we met. That was, yeah. But when I think back to that day, and I just think how far we've come from there to like now, it's just mad when you just meet someone, and then, yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, that's how we met. That's the story. I don't know. I've got loads of stories, not necessarily all involving Mark, but a lot of our stories do involve Mark. How long ago was that? When I first met Mark, I believe it was 2002. It was the year after 9/11, and I think 9/11 was 2001, if I'm not mistaken. And so it was the following year, 2002. So we knew each other for about 8 years. Wow, that's the year after I was born. Wow, imagine that. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, so I remember on 9/11, me, my cousin, and my bestie Evelyn, we went to Florida. And so we arrived in Florida on the 10th of September. And the next day, obviously, is when the tragedy of 9/11 happened. But yeah, so it happened the next day, but we were in Florida. It was crazy. Peppa Pig, hello, young lady. Oh, I love story. Like when I think back on it, and I just think, God, it was so long ago, and we didn't get together right away. But what we would do, so I remember, um, he would message me every now and again and say, "Hey, how are you? Do you fancy a chat?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll call you later." But I was so busy involved with my friends and like chatting. We would be chatting about different things and all of this that I'd forget to call him. Now this went on for about a month, and it happened like every day or every other day that he would message me, and I would completely, yeah, yeah, don't worry. Or it would, or maybe not as often as that. Maybe it was like more like once or twice a week or something like that. But it was quite often that he was asking me. And like, yeah, 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 I'll call you, blah, blah, blah. And then I went, oh, and then one day it happened so often, he asked, and I was going, yeah, do you know what? I'll call you at 9 o'clock. And then, but I was too busy on the phone to my friend. I was on the phone to my friend Melanie at the time. And we'd be chatting about, like, we worked together and we'd be chatting about what was happening at work and all of this type of stuff. And then and I had left that work. So we were just talking about the gossip that was happening. And then, anyway, I put the phone down from her and I was about to get ready to go to bed. And then Mark called me and it was 9 o'clock. And I was like, hey, I was just about to call you. No intentions of calling him because I'd forgotten about him. And then I was like, hey, how are you? And we stayed on the phone for ages, ages and ages and ages. And then we got to know each other a bit more and all of this. And I think he thought, forget this. She's not calling me. I'm going to call her like this. And yeah, so then he called me and then we chatted and all of that type of stuff. And we would, I remember we had said so in the last class, we said, oh, let's sign up for the course again. Let's just sign up for the course again. And so we did, but Mark had no intentions of signing up for the course. So I did the course, but he wasn't in the class. And sometimes we'd bump into each other and then we'd go and do something after class. Now, unbeknownst to me, I just thought we were randomly bumping into each other. Anyway, one day I was leaving class and I just thought, oh, it would be really nice if Mark met me. I was walking outside. It'd be really nice if Mark met me right now. It'd be so nice. And then I looked up and I saw this guy in this long coat. And now I know, and I thought, that looks like, he was walking away. I thought, that looks like Mark. Anyway, he turned around and oh my God, it was Mark. And then he walks back and I goes, hey, how are you? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And I was just like, now it was a Saturday. And I was like, what are you doing here? He goes, oh yeah, I came to check something with the admin. The admin is not open on a weekend. For sure, it's not open on a weekend. It's only open Monday to Friday. And in my mind, I thought, he's come to meet me like this. And I just thought, and I just went, okay then. But it was just so nice to know that he was coming to meet me. And at that exact time, I was thinking, I wish Mark would come to meet me. And then he did, and he came to meet me. And then, yeah, we spent the whole day together. And then it became a regular thing where we would meet in London. Now, Mark cannot get up. He hates getting up early in the morning. But I would say to him, but I would want to maximize my day with him. So he would go, oh yeah, hi, what time should we meet? Now, bearing in mind, we were just friends at this point. And I was just like, I'll meet you at 11. And I would always be late. And he just thought that I was just taking the mick because I'll go, yeah, it's Mark, I'm just 10. But it wasn't. It was me like doing my hair and putting on my lipstick and all of this type of stuff. And yeah, and then we would go and meet. We'd meet at 11 and then we would leave each other, I don't know, sometimes 10 o'clock, something like that, or sometimes earlier. But yeah, it'd always be night time. We'd meet in the morning and it'd always be nighttime by the time we finished. We'd walk the bridges or we'd walk around town and yeah, and all of that type of stuff. And then yeah, I would go home and he would go home. And yeah, that's what we did. We did that every Sunday for ages, absolutely ages. So cute. Thank you. Yeah, my niece was in America on 9/11. Was she? Whereabouts was she? Was she near New York? It was scary though. I mean, I didn't understand the extent of it until I got home, really, because I didn't know about the two towers and all that. Twin towers. I didn't know about the twin towers and things like that. I didn't know much about New York really. So I just knew that it was a big thing, and it was on all of the news and all of this. It was crazy. Oh, he was playing it cool, darling. Do you know what? So was I. So we were both playing it cool, but it was just so obvious that we liked each other, but we weren't. You know, when you're still in that tentative stage where you don't know if the guy likes you or if you're imagining it. I mean, we were meeting every Sunday, so it was crazy. You are a lovely couple. Oh, thank you. You're so positive together, and I'm sure you're both dealing with each other's twerks. I tell you, seriously, that's love. We do. We like we argue all the time. We argue every day about something. Every day we have an argument about something. I'm like, "Darling, you've broken another handle." Like, he's so heavy-handed. He's broken another handle, and then he gets all defensive. Well, what other handles have I broken? In our last house, he broke every single door, and these were metal rods. These were old council metal rod doors, and he broke every handle bar one in the whole house. Like, how heavy-handed do you have to be? And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, so yeah. So we are dealing with each other's twerk. So I get on his nerves. I'm really messy. I am the messiest person. I can clean and all that, but tidy, it's a big thing of mine. I can't. It's just like there's always something everywhere, and he does put up with that. He's like, he can really deal with that, and not a lot of people can. But he does, and he'll like he'll say to me, "You need someone behind you like this." Picking things up, like me doing this all around the house, and someone needs to catch it, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm properly messy, and he does have to deal with a lot, to be fair. I love your huge grin when you're talking about your relationship. Do you know what? Because I think back to how we were, and like, even now, I just think, like, I did never thought in a million years that when we met that this is where we would be now. And he's the same. He doesn't, like, we met just randomly in an acting class. He noticed me first, and yeah, and it's just gone from there to now. Here we like have our own place and all of this, and just building our life together, really. um uh it's that lovely smile, darling, that catches me, darling. Oh, bless you, thank you. My niece was in Vegas. Oh, wow, 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 wow. I mean, I'm glad, you know, it was such a sad thing that happened with 9/11, for sure. And I'm so glad that there were so many people that were safe, but I just feel horrible for all the people that lost their lives that day. And it was just really sad. And like I said, I didn't understand the extent of it. I didn't understand the extent of it. And I didn't, even when I truly got back, I didn't realize it until probably about a year later. I think that's when I really understood and really sort of paid attention to what was happening and everything, because there were planes that were on their way here, they were on their way there, they shut down Disney for the day, and it was just, and we were just, like, we were just like kids, like, just like, ha ha, you know, not ha ha as in laughing at the planes or anything like that, but ha ha, we're here to have fun, and we're going to go and have fun, and we're totally oblivious to what actually was going on in the world. Do you know what I mean? Because we didn't fathom how, you know, big of a thing it was, how devastating it was, how, like, just the sheer magnitude. We didn't understand the sheer magnitude of it, and I didn't until about a year later. And when I was watching all the footage, and I had never ever, I'd never even heard of the Twin Towers. I didn't know much. I was just this kid going, we're going to go to Disney and we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to do this. And I've been here so many times before. We're going to go to Typhoon Lagoon. We're going to go to Blizzard Beach. And that was what my mind was full of. And there was one girl, and she was American, and Evelyn was walking. So basically, we were all walking to Universal Studios, and it was a really, really hot day. I don't know what possessed us to walk from where our hotel was to Universal Studios, because it was like a good 20 minutes to half an hour walk. and it was blistering hot. And me and my cousin Lorenzo, we were walking so slow, but Evelyn couldn't take the heat. She walked off, and she's so much taller than her. She just zipped off, and I was just like, oh my god. She was walking with a girl, and the girl was saying that her and her friends had planned to come. They'd saved up for a couple of years. They booked their flight. They were going. They came from another part of the states, and after 9/11 happened, all the other friends decided not to go. And this girl was like, "I paid my money. I'm going. It's sad and everything, but I paid my money and I'm going." And she came, and she came to Disney by herself. Bless her. And I felt sorry for her, but I also understood her friends because they were worried. They didn't, and they would have understood living in the States, you would have understood the magnitude of it a lot better. And especially if you were more informed than what we were, because we weren't, like, to us, there was always something happening all the time. And so like I said, I didn't understand the sheer magnitude until about a year later, once I was back watching all the footage, watching. It was just, it was mind-boggling. And like, to this day, I just feel like I actually went to visit the memorial. Not So they were still built. So I went with my friend, and then Mark and I went together, and they were still building the memorial. So they were in. There was just these huge holes in the ground, and you just think, I just, like, even now when you think about it, or when you speak about it, it's just like, it's just crazy. Yeah. Hey King Europe, how are you? Oh, thank you for joining us. Well, me, I was about to say us. Thank you for joining me. I'm on my own. Mark's gone out to eat. He's gone out to eat with his friends tonight. Normally that's me, but he's gone out tonight. I was born exactly 10 days after 9/11. I'll be 22 in less than a week. Wow, 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 wow. Hey. So are you excited? What have you got planned? 22. To be 22 again, eh? Ah, 9/11 survival stories are crazy. Yeah, I just watched a new documentary. Amazing how lucky some people were to survive. I was working for a company at the time. I was working for a call center, and one of our call centers was actually in one of the buildings. And one of the staff members had decided not to go into work that day. They weren't feeling well. But sometimes, when you're not feeling, you're feeling a little bit under the weather, you go into work anyway. And they had decided not to go into work. There were people that were running late to get to work. Imagine those near-death experiences, and you just think, like, I don't know, it's crazy. Back to uni for my final year, so having a big dinner with my friends. Final year of computer science, very nervous. I'm sure you're going to do absolutely well. Oh, bless you. Are you having fun? I mean, I know your course is serious and stuff, but have you had a fun uni life? Did you take any gap years? Well, 22, I doubt you took any gap years. But what are now, when you finish in your final year, are you then going to travel for a bit, or you're going to go straight to find work and then maybe later on do a bit of traveling, or you have no desires to travel and you're just going to go straight to work and then build your life? Wow. Like, it's mad when you say, like, I suppose what I ask young people, or people of the, well, I'll ask anyone. So anyone who has difficulties in making decisions. So this is a question that I will ask people who have difficulty in making decisions. I would say, what is it you want to achieve in the next 5 years, and what is it you want to achieve in the next 10 years? Because sometimes we make this mistake of, we're just living day to day. We're just trying to get by day to day. We're just trying to pay a bill. But that's fine when you're trying to pay the bill now. But are you trying to pay a bill for the next 5 years? Or is it you want to do more than just pay your bills? Like, do you have an achievement in mind that you want to do in 5 years, and then you want to do that in 10 years? Like, I remember I worked with this guy, really smart guy. I say really smart. He was a technician. And he, at 20 or 21, he was already buying his first house. He had already been paying into his pension from the moment that he started working. I wasn't that smart. I didn't start paying into my pension right away. And I think all of those wasted years when I should have been paying into my pension, girl. Sarah, make sure you pay into your pension as soon as you start working, girl. Just start paying it. Because you may think, oh yeah, I've got plenty of time and all, and it's true. I'm not saying you don't. You do have. However, what's good is you want to be able to control when you want to give up work, when you want to retire. You want to have control of that. So why let something have control of you when you can control it? Does that make sense? And I wish somebody had given me or instilled in me to pay my pension as soon as I start working. Even if your employer is going to pay money into your pension, you should tap it up so that it reaches 10%. So your employer may pay, I don't know, 3%. So if your employer pays 3%, you pay 7, right? If your employer pays 5, you pay 5. If your employer pays 7, you pay 3. If you can pay more, all the better, but try to at least put 10% into your pension pot, because there will come a time when you think, do you know what? I don't want to work anymore, or my house is paid off. Why am I still working? Let me go live life and enjoy. Do you know what I mean? So if you can manage to put 10% in your saving, in your pension, and then if you can do, like 10% into just plain old savings, just plain old, you might need to put down a deposit for your house. You might need to do house renovations. You might want to buy a new car. You might want to do this, then that. But the thing that I wish somebody had told me, start paying into your pension as soon as you can. As soon as you start working, just pay into the pension. Because there will come a time when I think when you can start drawing on your pension normally is about 50 or 55, I think, on your private pension, that is. And that's a whole lot of life to live, right? And the thing is, you want to be commanding a certain amount of money, right? You want to be commanding a certain amount of money per month to live, right? To live, to enjoy life, to go on holiday, to do whatever it is that you need to do. So you need to pay a certain amount into your pension. If you can pay more than 10%, or if you can manage to get more than 10% into your pension, brilliant, do it. Just do that. Also, you can put money aside in a bank, and then you've got both sides covered. And then if you decide you need to draw on your savings a little bit or whatever, that's good. But truly, I can't impress upon you enough. That would be one of the things that I wish somebody had told me. I had my A levels cancelled in 2020. Yeah. So it was quarantine for a while and online study for a year. Then I did a year in the industry to get some experience in a real job. But yes, so far, it's been great. Cancelled because of COVID, obviously. Yeah. Oh, bless you. Do you know, I feel like when COVID's got a lot to answer for, but I think that we just didn't know anything, and it was just, yeah, it was like devastating for a lot of people, and it was so, I felt, for me, it was the end of 2020, 2021, 2022 was a little bit soul destroying for me. And it was just a case of, just trying to pick myself up. I felt a little bit lost as well. And so it was just a case of trying to, I don't know, find that positivity again, because I'm quite a positive person. My mum says I'm a negative person, by the way. And I said, no, I'm a realist. There's a difference. Like, I'm very good at calculating stuff. I don't mean maths or anything like that, but I'm very good at calculating probabilities. Like, what's the probability of that actually working? And I can quickly calculate it out. And I'm very, very good at that. That's why I'm very good at planning. I'm very good at organizing, very good at planning. There are very few things that I can't control. Eating's one of them. Like, I can't, not that I gorge myself silly, but it's one of those things. I really like sweet things. I really love sweet. I've got such a sweet tooth. And things like, that's one of the things I can't control. Being messy, it's another thing I can't control. I don't have the capacity to fit it in, kind of thing. And so I think those are my two main things. Everything else is fine. So I can organize, I can do things, and just I can it's really weird because I can create things and foresee things. So I think, right, this is going to work, that's not going to work. Will you talk, like somebody will come to me with a problem, or they'll come to me and say, right, this doesn't work. Well, why doesn't it work? And then, right, tell me about it. Right, okay, yeah, the reason why that's not going to work is because of this, this, and this. You need to do this, this, and this. I'm a problem solver. I like to solve problems, and I like to focus on solutions rather than the problem itself. And so I find that a lot of people, when they're trying to solve a problem, they're like, yeah, but it doesn't work, and like this. Instead of saying, right, okay, no, I get that it doesn't work. I've totally got that. I'm with you. I can see what you're saying. However, what can we do to combat that? What can we do to get it to work? What can we do? Don't tell me like it doesn't work. I get that. You've already told me it. You don't need to tell it to me for a third time. You've told me the reasons why. Now we need to find a solution for that. And so that's how my mind works. And so I was driving the other day, and we went round a roundabout, and the sat nav led us a bit wrong. And then Mark was saying, oh, yeah, but it led us wrong with this. Right, yeah, but we're coming up to the next roundabout. What's the sat-nav saying? Like, because I don't want to look down because I'm too busy concentrating on the road. So let me know what the sat-nav's saying. Is it third exit? Yeah, it's the third exit. But the reason why the other one was saying the second exit, so now you're confusing me with second and third exits. Forget about that. It's in the past. Let's get on with this one. Let's go. And I don't like to concentrate too much. I like to remember what happened later when I have the capacity to remember. But when I'm concentrating on something else, it's like if you're counting, 1, 2, 3, and then someone says, oh, 17, 18, 20. No, I don't need to know about the 17, 18, and 20. I need to know about the 1, 2, 3. What are you talking about? Like, let's concentrate on the 1, 2, 3. Later on, we can concentrate on the 17, 18. And it's very much, that's how my mind works. Right. That's failed. Got that. Understood it. Right, what can we do to make this pass? We'll come back to that. What can we do? And so that's how my mind works. I'm saying, right, okay, so this doesn't work, right, that doesn't, okay, can that wait? All right, let's come back to that one. We'll prioritize this one. This one's got priority, and that's how I work. So, yeah, it's a bit, I feel like I was a little bit lost during that time, and in that time, I think I was thinking, how am I going to get myself out of this sort of like this bit of a rut? Because I was at a loss because I felt like I didn't have purpose, if that makes sense. So I just felt like, what can I do to give myself purpose? What can I do to, I don't know, instill a bit of positivity or make, I don't know. I just felt a little bit of a loss. And then later on, because I think, do you know what? If I had retired and Mark had retired, I don't think it would have been a problem because we would have just done things together. We would have found things to do and all of this. But because he was working, and I was just like, right, well, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I go out with my mum, and I go out with my aunt. We go to like different beaches and stuff like that. But I just didn't feel like it was enough. Like I felt like I needed to be doing something. I wanted to make a change of some sort. And so, yeah, but I feel like, yeah, I think 2020 was tough, was so tough for everybody. And I really felt for kids with their exams and getting cancelled or having to study online, because I was watching something the other day, and a couple of the students are suing universities because they had paid for a service, and that service was not delivered. It was online, or it was this, it was that. So they didn't get any refunds. How can you pay for a course? The course does not deliver what it says it's going to do. And so you're not giving out refunds. What they should have done is refunded those years. If you have to stay in your accommodation, of course you can't refund the accommodation part, but the actual course part, the courses that you are not teaching, like, so if there were not online seminars or Zooms or whatever, and you were just learning from YouTube or whatever it was, or pre-recorded this or a pre-recorded that, why are you having to pay for a course that didn't deliver what it said it was going to deliver. And so some of these students are, suing the universities to get a refund for the portions of years that were not delivered on. And quite rightly so. Quite rightly so. And I really did feel for, I can only imagine how hard that people worked and studied and stressed and, just, I just imagine it to be like very terrible. And I hope those students win. I hope those students sort of get that portion of. I'm not saying that I'm not saying the portions that the university did provide. I'm talking about the portions that the university didn't provide. That's why the students should be getting a partial refund on the portions that the university did not deliver. I'm not saying I can't say that it's everyone's fault and stuff like that, because it isn't. But what I am saying is right, and you need to refund. Those kids can then take and pay off their part of their student loans. They're not going to carry that with them to their next position, because some of these kids, they're like, when I'm thinking about, like, some of these kids are having to take out 25k, 30k, 40k just to study, It's just mind-boggling. Do you like deposit on a house, innit? So instead of spending the deposit on your house, you have to spend the deposit on your education. And, not all parents can help their kids like that. Not all parents can give their kids 30,000, 25,000, 40,000 to study. They can't even do it to give their kids, to help the kids get on the property ladder. Why would they on earth would they have that kind of money in order to be able to pay for their education? When I think about it, and I just think, I never went to uni, and even if I had gone back to uni, even if I had gone to uni back in the day, my course probably would have cost, if I had gone to actual uni, probably would have been 5,000 or 6,000. I didn't want to go to uni. I wanted to go to drama school, and if I couldn't go to drama school, I wasn't going anywhere. And I got into a drama school, and it was £10,000 a year, and I didn't have 10,000. I didn't have £30,000. It was 3 years I was going to have to be there, and it was going to cost me £10,000 a year. Who has that sort of money? And that was back then. That was £30,000. I couldn't even get a partial grant for that, to pay for part of that. For that. And so, but everything happens for a reason, and my life took a different path. So it wasn't the path that I was expecting. But it took a different path, not a bad one, just a different one, But I remember being like so passionate about acting. Well, that's how I met Mark. I have two soulmates. I have Mark and I have my best friend. My two soulmates. How lucky does one person have to be to find two soulmates? That, and I just feel like sometimes I just feel like I'm the luckiest person. Like, to, just to have, two people who understand me, who get me, who just, do you know what I mean? And I'm just like really, truly grateful. And I praise, do you call I don't know, whatever deity you want to say, God or the universe or whatever. I just thank God every day, because I'm very, very lucky. And I don't dispute that at all. And it's just so, when I see other people, I just think, oh, like, I have friends who are single and stuff like that, and I'm waiting for them to meet someone, or I'm waiting for them to, I don't know, like, achieve whatever it is that they want to. I'm the biggest champion for my friend. Like, I want them to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve, kind of thing. And I'm just like, and I'm happy when it happened. Like, my friend, one of my friends, she's met someone. She's been waiting so long to meet someone, and finally, she's met someone, and I'm like just so happy, because I just think she's been waiting for so long. And imagine, I think at one point, I think she thought that maybe she wasn't going to meet anyone by this point, and she met him, and and I'm so happy for her. And I just think, oh. And you just think, well, and I like it when things happen for other people. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm their biggest champion. I want them to sort of like do whatever it is that they want to do. And I'm just so happy for her now. And I was telling her, like, I met up with her yesterday, and I was just like, oh, I'm so happy you've met someone. I'm happy you're doing your thing now, and all of this. And she was like, I'm happy for me too. And I was just like, oh, bless her. But yeah, it's just nice. I like it when I see people sort of doing their heartfelt stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever it is you want to do in life, kind of thing. But yeah, my God, I've been prattling on by myself for an hour and 45 minutes. That's mad. Our hugs. You are blessed. I am. Thank you, Sam. I am. And I just, like I say, I thank God every day, kind of thing. I just, yeah, to have like somebody like my best friend who understands me, and then a partner who understands me, who gets frustrated with me a lot of the time, to be fair. um but yeah, understands me nonetheless. We understand each other, and we do go through our ups and downs like everybody else. But yeah, we try to get through it, and yeah, and then the next day it starts again, or maybe a couple of hours later it starts again. We have an argument. Are you trying to annoy me? Are you trying to? And that's how we are. Yeah, that's how we are. Okay, guys. So I'm going to leave it here. It's almost 8:30. None of you told me what you're doing this weekend. Like none of you have said. And I we might have some plans tomorrow. I don't want to reveal too much. And so I want to talk it over with Mark. I don't know what time he's going to be home. He's probably going to be home quite late. And you deserve so much love. You are a very beautiful person, inside and out. Oh, thank you, Sam. That's so kind. Thank you. I take it with open arms. Thank you very much. But you all are lovely. I haven't met all of you. I've met some of you. And Sam, I know you're lovely. And with your lovely family and your lovely grandson. I know he has so much fun when and you're so crafty and sort of like doing things and making things. And like, I'm not nearly as crafty at all. I can just about bake a cake. Do you know what I mean? I'm not good at decorating it or anything. But I'd like to learn. I don't know if I've got the real patience to learn. I would just like to do it. So you know when you spin the thing, when you spin it that way, if you I just want to know how to do it flat and so that it's nice. But I'll learn at some point when I give myself time. But yeah, I feel like I like our community, and I hope it grows, and I hope there's more wonderful people that join us. And hopefully we can all be positive and breed positivity together, because I'm all about that. A lot of the time, I think the people that meet me think I'm absolutely crazy, like, because I'm like, yeah, let's go, or something like this, or I'm bouncing around, going, all right, okay, let's go. What are we gonna do next? And I think a lot of people are like, is she okay? Is she all right? So yeah, that's how I am. But anyway, I digress again. I'm going to see you beautiful people on Tuesday, I believe. So have fun at the weekend. Please stay safe. Please look after yourselves. And remember, you're never too old to have fun. Melt my cheese. Bye for now. See you on Tuesday, everyone. Bye.